Hey everybody, it's me, Gina. Welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to finally be back. It's taken me forever to get to a place where I could start doing this again. My husband and I lived the RV life. We sold our house in North Carolina and lived the RV life. We bought a vintage 40-foot motorhome. And we traveled all over the place, all over all over the United States. We stayed pretty much on the East Coast and worked our way down. Ended up in the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America now, that's what they call it, in Texas. We came back up through. We ended up back here in Vermont, basically. Where my life started. I was born and raised in Vermont, about way up north. It's about 30 minutes from the Canadian border, and I'm now full circle basically. But I'm not living in the RV anymore. We have an apartment. My husband has a job. I have a job, and I don't. It doesn't look like we're going to go back out on the road and live full time again in the RV. We still have the RV. We hope to do some minor repairs to it and be able to take it and go vacationing and go for, weekend jaunts, but not to live in it full time anymore. In many ways, I'm glad to be back in Vermont. I'm glad to be back where I started. In some ways, I wish I was back out on the road, but for the most part, I'm glad I'm back in Vermont. I'm not traveling all over the place, although it was a lot of fun, and I got several stories to tell you along the way, but I don't want to bore you all to tears in one video. I'm just glad to really be back. I'm also back because I really missed being here. I miss being a part of this community. I've still been making junk journals, in the background. I've got this enormous folder on my laptop of literally all of my favorite tutorials from my favorite content creators / artists. This is an enormous folder, and it's got subfolders in it. But anyways, I eventually want to go through and do videos of all of my favorites. And I've been collecting and compiling this folder of my favorites for since 2020. So that's about almost 6 years now I've been compiling this folder. So I've got probably enough videos and enough tutorials and enough things to show you. That could probably last the rest of my life. Nonetheless, I do have so many ideas of future videos: journal with me, junk journals, prayer journals, glue booking. The list goes on. I really like doing the videos, but I'm not as big a talker as I used to be, so I don't know. We'll see if I can find a happy medium. Basically, same niche, because I think I'll always be addicted and love junk journals. Same niche, basically the same soul. It's still me, Gina. Just a slightly updated version of myself. That's all. So here we go. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing the last couple of days. I stumbled across this video. I don't know, about a month ago, I guess. Maybe not a month ago. No, probably a couple of weeks. Anyways, of these glittery, sparkly ticket clusters. Now, sparkle is not my thing usually, okay? I'm the grunge girl. I like the dark, rich rusts and the distress stains, and this is usually not my thing. However, I stumbled across this video of this woman. Her channel name is GlamJunkJournals, and her name is Pam. I will post a link below to her video so you can go and check her out yourself. Check out the video because she does things. I mean, I followed the video pretty good. There are some similarities, but there's some things that are a little different. Of course, you know, we don't all have the same textiles, materials, you know, items, things in our stash as the next person. I mean, you know, we're all a little bit different. So I worked with what I had and kind of made do with things that I didn't have. However, I really love how they came out. So I'm going to bring up a couple of these, or maybe all of them. I mean, these are the ones that are pretty much finished. And then I will go through and show you step by step how to make one from start to finish. So I'm going to bring this up. Hopefully you can see these. The tickets are all made DIY by me. Some of them are actual tickets, vintage tickets from kits that I purchased from content creators on Etsy. Some of them are freebies. Some of them are eco-dyed scrap papers that I did. Some of them are gel plate prints, you know, like seconds or pulls that I didn't really love, but I didn't want to throw away. This one is actual, this one right here, the actual background is, I did some marbling paper. I marbled some paper with liquid starch. I've done there is a video on my channel showing you, it was quite a long time ago, but showing you exactly how I did it. But there's that one. This one's from an old school book. Vintage, showing you like the practice sheets for cursive writing. This ticket is actually from a set that I purchased from Victoria Designs. This is just a printable from some kit. I can't remember where it came from, but there we go. Okay, so I think you get the idea there. Okay, so I'm going to move these away and bring one over that's been started but it's not finished. Okay, it's all about layers. There's like 7 different things, 7 different layers to these clusters. First thing is your base, and that's a piece. This is what I used. You can use whatever you choose. It's, you know, personal preference or whatever you have in your stash. The possibilities are endless, but I started with the base of either muslin, coffee-stained muslin, or tea-stained 100% like white or cream-colored fabric. Then the next thing on the next layer is, I've got a bunch, well, I don't have a bunch, but I have like 3 or 4 to choose from. But I have like a silver glittery tool. And then there's some gold over here. And then I've got this. It's like a ribbon. It comes in a ribbon. It says Christmas ribbon. But it's like really paper thin, like a netting, like a gold glittery netting with these, come on. They're almost like sequins, glued or sewn into the netting. But I've got that. Anyways, so base is fabric, the netting or the tulle, the ticket. I'm going to show you really quick just how easy it is. Hold on, where's that piece of paper I had? I just had it. Hang in there. I'm almost there. Oh, it's over here. Oh, goodness gracious me. There we go. There it is. I see it. I found it. Hang on, everybody. Hang on. Well, at least I thought I found it. There it is. Okay. this is just a piece of scrap white cardstock, okay? So I'm going to trim it down, okay, to roughly the size of like an amusement park ticket, okay? So that's about right. I'll put it over there. Okay, so there it is. Okay, and then I use a cheap hole puncher, okay? I've got 3 or 4 of them. I got one at Dollar Tree. I got one from eBay. I got one from Hobby Lobby, but they're fairly cheap. You can get them for anywhere from like $1.50 up to like $3 or $4, something like that. They're not that expensive. So you take your piece of paper, scrap paper, the size of what a ticket would be, okay, and out of the corners you're going to come in and just the corner, not the whole circumference of the punch, just the corner, and clip or punch the corners. Okay, and then do it again all the way around. Just halfway, not the whole part. Okay, and then if you do it all the way around, there you go. Look at that, you've made a ticket. It's that simple. Here we go. Now that I've done that, the next step was I took some stickles. I have a bunch of stickles, okay? And then you just kind of smear it or kind of just scrape it along around the ticket to give it that shiny, glittery effect. Come on. There we go. Now this was, I just glued down a book page onto my DIY ticket. So that's what you're looking at underneath the stickles is part of a book page. All right, now once you put the stickles on, the next step is to find, let me see, this is a good example. Okay, so on top of the ticket and on top of the stickles, you'll see there's like a little piece of like embroidered kind of lace or something. You just need a little scrap of that. You can use lace, you can use cheesecloth, you can use whatever you want. So in this particular case, I'm just going to grab something out of the bag. I've got scraps of lace and cheesecloth all over the place. I actually have my own craft room again. I'm not going to lie, I love that. I have missed having my own craft room. How about we just use... How about like this? Maybe? We're just going to cut it. We're just going to cut it because we don't need very much of it. Just need a little bit. I'm going to curve it. Okay. We don't need the whole thing, just a piece. Okay, so then we're going to bring this down. We may not even need all of this, but we're going to find out. Okay, I'm going to just place it. I'm going to, just for the heck of it, you can place it anywhere. I have some that I placed in the middle, some in the corners. I'm just going to, for whatever reason, I'm just going to place this in the corner here. Okay, I'm going to glue it down. I'm going to glue it down. Where's my glue? Here we go. Let me see here. Get that glue going. I love Fabrifix, but it can get kind of messy. Not gonna lie. I have some glitter glue. It's a brand new bottle. I haven't even opened it. But this was what I had on hand, so that's what I'm using. All right, flip this over, glue that little puppy down. in the corner. So just kind of drapes over a little bit. There we go. Okay, so there's that. Okay, it's not rocket science. It's, don't make it difficult. We want to make it enjoyable. That's my motto. Not difficult, not frustrating. We want to have fun while we're crafting. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Now that I've done that, the next step is I have a bunch of buttons in this container. I have a bunch of buttons, and some of them are just plain white or cream colored or whatever. But then I have these two little baggies. Over time, over years, okay, I've taken a bunch of alcohol inks and colored these buttons. Now the buttons I've gotten over the years from, some of the buttons are from my grandmother's old tin. I won't ever get rid of those, but I do have several buttons that I colored with alcohol inks. Now, there's no main color in this except for shiny and glittery. So I'm just going to grab a button here, one that I think will look nice on this ticket. Let's move it along here. Let me see, what have I got here? But yeah, most of these are all colored with alcohol inks. Make sure you ventilate your room when you do this. Ask me how I know this. No, don't like that. How about that one? Whoa. Okay. I'm looking for like one of those little... Of course, because I'm on camera, I can't find one that I like. Don't like that one either. How about that one? It's kind of got like a green tint to it. No, maybe this one. Ooh, maybe that one. Okay, so that one's got kind of like a caramel brown kind of shiny tone to it. I think I'm going to choose that one for purposes of the video. Ooh, maybe I like that one. Oh, that one's darker. It's got like a black shiny. No, I'm going to stick with the original one. Ooh, flip it over. It's got like a mother of pearl look. I think I'm going to go with that. Okay, so now I'm going to try to get rid of all these buttons. Try not to make this video like super long. I don't want to bore you. But I am super glad to be back. I really am. Oh, there's buttons going all over my floor. Oh well, I'll have to pick them up later. Not going to worry about it right now. No stress. No stress. Okay, here we go. Okay, buttons are gone. Now the next thing is I need a needle. I need a needle, folks. And I need some thread. There's my thread. Here we go. Okay, that's, no, that's not what I want. I thought that was black. Here's black. There we go, I found the black. This is more like a dark brownish burgundy. I don't know if I like that. No, we want black. We want black. Yeah, we want black. Okay, so we need to get a, what I'm going to do is take a little tiny bit of glue just on the edge. Fabrifix hardens or sets pretty fast, so I'm just going to put a little drop of glue on the corner here so it'll hold. This is what I do, okay, just to make it easier for myself. Okay. Okay. Okay, now flip it over and set it down right there on top of that. Just hold it there for a few seconds. Let it harden up. Okay, while that's hardening, I'm going to get a needle thick enough so I can push it through there. And just some, let me see, here's some embroidery floss. Yeah, I just need one. Oh, wait a minute, I got some black here, or brown. Is that brown? That's not long enough. We're going to do this one, because that is long enough here. Yeah. Okay, I need a needle. We're almost there. Almost there. Needle that's thick enough. I got a bunch of needles here. Which one do I want to use? Well, that could work. That one might work. I think so. I think so. All right. We don't need all of these threads. Just need a couple. I hope you're all having a good day. Up here in Vermont right now, we've already had 2 massive snowstorms. We've gotten well over, a total so far, well over 2 feet of snow. Well over. And now the weather is forecasting another nor'easter this coming weekend. So who knows, I might get another chance of, I might get some more time to make some more videos this weekend. I'm hoping. I really do. It's my ultimate goal to become more consistent and be able to make at least a couple videos every week. But yeah, we've gotten a lot of snow and it's been cold. Up until this morning, well actually up until noon today, we've had a long stretch, like several days in a row of anywhere from 7 to like 15, 20 below zero. It has been, I mean, like bone-chilling cold up here. January is usually the coldest month of the year up here in Vermont. I spent 8 years in North Carolina. I became southernized. I came back here and I was freezing, and I'd lived here my whole life. I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, I still don't like the cold weather. I really don't. However, my husband did not like it in North Carolina. My husband didn't like it in North Carolina as much as I did, so. And, you know, I said, well, come on, Needle, you can do this. I know you can. I thought, okay, just going to bring this up this way. Nope, I'm going to go like this. Oh, come on. It's going to be hard to get this needle through. Kind of thick, but I'll do it. Because the end result, I like the way the end result looks. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's going to happen, folks. Yeah, in 2022, when my husband and I were still in North Carolina, yeah, my husband had a sudden cardiac episode. And then because of that cardiac episode, they decided to do a catheterization of his heart, and he ended up having to have emergency open heart triple bypass surgery. The doctors and the healthcare professionals there in North Carolina. He was shipped to a hospital called Moses Cone, and at the actual heart unit. And after his surgery, even before his surgery, doctors, specialists that had been doing this their entire lives said that they didn't understand how my husband didn't have any major heart damage, and they most definitely didn't understand why he was still alive. All major arteries to his heart, including the widowmaker, what they call the widowmaker, was anywhere from 80 to almost 100% occluded. So it took him quite some time to get better from that and heal. And he says all the time now, it took him forever. It took forever to get to this point, but he says he feels like a new man in a lot of ways. But he should be dead. And so when in 2023, when he said, I want to sell the house and I want to go on an adventure. Of course, I loved my house in North Carolina. I didn't want to leave. I loved it there. However, I also thought to myself, I could be a widow right now. And he had given his whole life to this fire service as a firefighter. He was a nurse for several years. He was in the Coast Guard, recovering and retrieving and saving lives, and he has seen some god awful things, and he's endured a lot. And he said, "Can we please go on an adventure? Can we please sell the house and go on an adventure?" So that's what we did. So I said yes, and it took me a while to get used to it. It took me a while. It took me a few months to wrap my head around it, but we did it. And now I'm glad I'm back where I am, but I have no regrets about what we went on an adventure. We traveled all over the place. He took me to several different places that I probably would have never seen or experienced. People from different cultures, amazing foods from different cultures, places, things that I got to witness that I never would have seen or witnessed or experienced if I hadn't been with him, and if I hadn't said, yes, let's take a leap of faith and let's do this. So we did, and I'm glad that we did it, but I'm also glad that I'm back in one place, in actual one place. I'm not traveling all over the place, and I don't have to worry about the RV breaking down, or, I don't have to worry about, God, if anything happens to my husband and we're out here on the road, what am I going to do? And, there's so many different things, different components to it. But I'm sure glad that I did it. My husband took me to my number one thing on my bucket list. Well, one of my top 3 things on my bucket list. And that was, I love Elvis Presley. I've always loved Elvis Presley. I will always love Elvis Presley. And I'd always wanted to go to Graceland. So he took me to Graceland. I missed meeting Lisa Marie by 9 months. She passed away 9 months before I got there, which made me sad, because her and I were born we were almost identical in age, with the exception of, I think a few months. Yeah, I really wanted to meet her, but I didn't get a chance to do that. That's fine. That wasn't meant to be, but I got to go all through. I got to tour Graceland. I got wonderful souvenirs. I got to touch everything that I could possibly touch inside the mansion. They said not to touch anything, but I touched everything I could possibly touch, and no one said a word to me. Anyways, I even got free lunch there. So we've had a blast. And we're back in Vermont, and here I am, and I'm going to make some videos, and I'm going to get back into the crafting back into crafting and making junk journals, and I've been making junk journals, but now I want to show what I'm making on videos, and I want to be with you all. So here I go. So there it is. I took a little bit of thread, embroidery floss, sewed the button in with a little bit of glue so it really stays there. The only other thing I want to do with this is I think I want to put a word in there. Just something over here. Not just a button in the corner, but something over here. I've got words. I've got little pieces, little tiny pieces of ephemera right here. So let's see what I can find. How about, I don't know if I want a number or a word or, it's a little too stark white for my taste. Let's put something a little darker in here or something. Oh, that might work. Maybe that. A number. Nah, that doesn't look right. I'm not giving up. Ooh, what's that? Inspired. It's a word. Okay, that's too much, but I can cut it down. I like the word inspired. See, I was inspired to come on and do a video today. I was inspired to be with all of you. There's just one word. I cut all the label stuff down. Inspired. That's me. I am inspired today, that's for sure. Okay, so we're going to glue that puppy down. Where's that? Where's that glue? Okay. Here we go. Pull this up. Glue the word inspired down. Okay. I think you get the idea. I don't think I forgot anything. There we go. Yeah, I love these. I so love them. Okay, so I think you get the idea. I'm hoping I didn't forget anything. If you have any questions, if I forgot to explain something, put it down in the comments below. Give me a comment below. I'm back. I'm so back. I'm so excited to be back. Put a comment down below. Any questions you might have. I will put a link to GlamJunkJournals video where I was inspired to make these. They're so pretty, aren't they? I mean, come on. Again, I don't know why I'm so attracted to this, the sparkly, because I'm not normally, but... All right, so there's all the finished ones. There's the one I finished today. One more time, show you. Okay, yeah, I like them. So I think that's it. Oh no, I wanted to show you one other thing. I wanted to show you, this is one of my personal junk journals that I made. So there's one of my, and I wanted to show you how I used one of these sparkly ticket clusters and put them on a page. See? See, and there's another one that I made. I'll bring it up for you to see. Yeah, there's everything. A little glitter, a little number on the side, some stickles. And that, again, that's alcohol ink. It's like a blue alcohol ink that I used to stain one of the buttons. Oh, come on. Why is it doing this? Okay. It's giving me a hard time. There we go. You get a good look there. So that's how I used it. It's a little tuck spot. So I can put this, just, you know, it's a scrap piece of paper, but you can tuck it in there. But that's how I used it. That's how I used one of them. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. I'm going to start cleaning up my table here and work on my next video. My next video is something else I've been doing a lot lately. Oh, yeah, and that is paper weaving. Like, I did a whole page layout. I did a background with paper weaving. I did a corner tuck that was paper weaved, done in paper weaving. I did a journaling card, a tag, and there was paper weaving all over the tag. I'll show you that in the next video because I'm going to make some more of those. I'm going to experiment more with a few other techniques because I'm really into the paper weaving. It looks so cool and you can do it in so many different ways. Anyways, I think that's it, guys. I am so, I just can't say it enough. I'm so happy to be back. I'm going to let you go for now. See you in the next video. I hope you all have a blessed day. Talk to you soon. Bye.